Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all okay and having the best week ever. Welcome back to a new video. This week I thought I would continue. This is going to be the last video that is going to be based on not Christmas, because I feel like I've just not done any Christmas videos yet. So this is going to be the last one that's not Christmas, and then next week I'm coming to you with some fun Christmas videos. So don't be disappointed, I definitely will be doing more Christmas videos, but this one has been really requested and a few people have asked for it, so I feel like if I don't deliver it I'll feel really bad. So if you didn't know, I'm a UGC creator slash content creator, so I thought I would explain and kind of expand on what that is, how to get into it, my tips and tricks, how I got started, how I got all the brand deals, this, that and the other. And I thought I would just do one big video because I think it might get ready with me. I briefly spoke about it, but I don't think I went in full depth on it, and a lot of people were saying, can you do some more I don't know, examples on how you got into it, examples on pitches, things like how to reach out to brands, how to get more brand deals. So I thought I would do that today because it's been requested and I don't want to just forget about it and ignore everyone that's asked me and just go into straight Christmas festive content without explaining, because I feel like in the new year it's another 3 weeks away, so I don't want to wait that long to then give you guys the information, because you might want to start now and you might want some more tips on how to get into it and things. So I'm going to film it today for you guys and kind of give you my top tips, how I got into it, what's worked well for me, where I've learnt all of my information, all my sources, things like that, and just a really good handy kind of UGC video. There is some out there on YouTube, but they're not really in depth on every single topic. It's just kind of what it is and how they got started. So I kind of want to briefly go through the questions that I've got on Instagram that people have asked me, and kind of just questions and tips and tricks that I've learnt along the way. Really bad because it's the 8th of December and I've not really posted a Christmas video. So I'm going to do this video this week, and then starting next week I'm going to be filming a lot of Christmas content and just festive videos for you guys, because I know they're so fun and it's December, so why the hell wouldn't I? So that's what we're doing this week, and next week I promise I will come full force with the Christmas videos. So I thought I would film this UGC one today and kind of give you guys some tips and tricks, how to get into it if you're wanting to become self-employed but you don't know what to do, or you're wanting to be a content creator but you don't want to get loads of followers, this, that and the other. So all my girls, boys, whoever who wants to become a UGC creator, then this video is for you. I've got my Christmas jumper on just because I thought I wasn't doing a festive video, I might as well look festive. So I've got this really cute Christmas jumper on, and guess where it's from? Sainsbury's, TU. It's so beautiful. It's this really big oversized. I got it in a size 14 because I just wanted it really cuddly, and it's this cream knitted jumper with some red details, and I just thought it was really minimal and not too in your face, but then really cute and Christmassy as well. So I've got my Christmas jumper on and I'm ready to answer all of your questions. So I've got on my Instagram a few questions, but then I've also done some notes on my notes on things that I want to recap on, go through, just questions that I actually put a question poll on, I think last week when I did the Get Ready With Me, but I filmed the Get Ready With Me in the morning and then I had loads of questions on the evening, so I didn't get to answer any of them. So I've kind of just recapped on all those, gone through them, and then I'm gonna give them you guys and answer them for you basically. So that's what we're gonna do, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Also, if you hear movement and snoring and things, I've got my dog sat next to me, so he's quite loud, but he won't move. So yeah, that is the noise. I'm gonna go straight into it, and I'm gonna start with what is UGC and how I got started with it. So UGC is basically, UGC stands for user generated content, and this is basically someone who creates content for a brand, and then the brand posts it on their socials, whether that be organic content, paid content, photography, any of those. They put it on their social media. You haven't got any right, well, you can put it on your socials, but you don't have to put it on your social media. It's just for the brands. I think you're more than welcome to put it on your own, but you're not obliged to put it on there, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it's basically someone who creates content for a brand to post on their social medias, and it can be organic, which is where it's not put as an ad, it's just for their feed, just to show the product, or a sponsorship, a paid ad to promote the product, or just UGC photography. So it could be so many different things, but I mainly do organic and paid content and photography. I don't think there's any others, to be fair, that I know of. But there's so many different types of videos you can do. There's testimonials, there's unboxings, there's reviews, there's, I don't know, there's just so many to go through. I will go through that near the middle of the video, but just starting off what UGC is, and that is basically what UGC is. Someone who creates content for a brand, and that can be any brand, whether it's lifestyle. I literally do every single niche. My main niche is fashion, but I feel like that's the one I probably do the least. So there's fashion, lifestyle, beauty, food, travel. I want to get into travel more, because you can do like Airbnb collabs, like there's some amazing ones you can do. So yeah, that is what UGC is. And how to get started with it. So I basically I think I saw UGC maybe on a TikTok the once, because I was so eager to leave my job. Like I just didn't want to be there at all. And for my girlies who want to be like content creators, or they're trying to gain a following, I don't know, on social media and it's not really happening for them, or maybe they don't want a following, I don't know, UGC is probably for you, because you don't have to have any followers. You could literally have 0 followers and still be a UGC creator, which is amazing, because I feel like some people don't really want the exposure of like an influencer, because it can be quite toxic sometimes. It's just not really a nice environment. Even though there's some people that are really nice and supportive, there's also a lot of trolls nowadays, and it's just not a very nice environment sometimes. So a UGC creator, you don't get the hate, you don't get the nasty comments and the people like saying where's this, where's that. Like, it's just a lot more chilled. You give the content to the brand and then you're pretty much done. So yeah, a UGC creator is something that I definitely was like, yeah, I want to do that straight away, because it was a mix of what I was doing anyway, and I just thought this is like the perfect opportunity for me to leave my job. I can get into this full time. At first I didn't actually leave my job thinking I was going to be a full-time UGC creator. Like, that wasn't my plan at all. I was doing something else based on social media, but that kind of just came along, and within like 2 weeks I started getting paid with it. So I'm going to start off with the journey from pretty much, I think I started in like the end of July, August to now, which is the 8th of December. So starting off, I think I saw a TikTok on my For You page of UGC, and I really just got into it there. Like, I started watching YouTube videos on it, doing all my research. That is the main like piece of advice I will give you, is to do lots of research, because you don't want to get into something where brands are asking you for like different things and you don't really know what they are. So I definitely would say do research and find out more what UGC is, how to get into it, things you need to know, things you need to do. And yeah, I would definitely do your revisions and make sure you know what UGC is and what it takes to become a successful UGC creator. So for me, that was mainly watching YouTube videos. That's what helped me the most. Like, I'm very much a listener rather than a reader. So by listening to videos and stuff, that's why I want to create this video, so someone can click on this and think, oh, that's what I want to do. So YouTube really helped me a lot, and just kind of watching videos of people explaining what it was, how they become successful, things to do, things not to do, that really helped me a lot. So I would definitely say watch YouTube videos, but a lot of research is helpful. And also look at other UGC creators' profiles, and they do like tips and tricks. Like friend Eilish, she does a lot of like tips and tricks on UGC, like how to become a successful UGC creator. And you can actually get guides and things as well. Like, she does a guide that you can buy, and like you can get like one-to-ones and things. So there's a lot of different ways where you can like learn about UGC. But yeah, personally for me, I was watching YouTube videos and just doing a little bit of research on the internet as well. Once you've done all your research, you're going to want to create a portfolio. So before you create the portfolio, you actually want to like create examples of UGC videos from home, because obviously you want to upload videos of your content to the portfolio for brands to see. So whether that be you creating videos with products that you love from home, like I was doing it with like Got To Be Glued gels, lip glosses, lip balms, just creating really high quality content from home just to add to my portfolio. Like, it was just completely free. Like, I didn't get sent any of these things, it was all my own stuff. But you do need some examples to add to your portfolio for brands to see if they want to work with you. And yeah, you also want to make some social media accounts. Also add a UGC creator to the name and the bio, just so when a brand's looking for UGC creators to work with, they can type in UGC and your name will come straight up. So that's another thing, you need to make social media accounts, whether that be Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X, whatever it's called. I feel like most of my inbounds come through Instagram. So I feel like Instagram's the main one for me, but you can create an Instagram profile, TikTok, LinkedIn, Fiverr. There's so many different apps you can get collabs through. So I would definitely say my top 2 are TikTok and Instagram though. But there's a lot of people that I know that I've been to events with and things that I've got collabs through, like LinkedIn, Twitter, Fiverr. There's so many different ways to get a collab. But yeah, I would say my top 2 are definitely Instagram and TikTok. When you actually forget what you were talking about because my phone keeps on buzzing. So I think I was on about creating your profiles. So yeah, make sure you create an Instagram account, TikTok account, as many as you can. The more the better. I have to set up a new email. I feel like I tend to use my normal email, but then now and again I will use my UGC one just to separate it up a bit. But you can set up a new email. Yeah, there's just so many different platforms that you need to set up and get started to become a UGC creator. So portfolio is number 1. I feel like that is the main thing that a brand will look at is your portfolio. Well, I say that. The first thing they'll look at is your socials, and then they'll click on the link to your portfolio. I feel like today, guys, I can't talk. I feel like I'm word vomiting at people. Like, I've just been sending voice notes to my friends, and I feel like I genuinely cannot speak today. I don't know what's going on. I feel like I need to pace myself, slow down, think of what I'm going to say, because I'm just spitting at everyone today and I can't talk. What was I talking about? So, yeah, main thing that I would say to start off UGC is research, making sure you're knowing all the facts you need to know about UGC, all the things that you need, all the tips, kind of advice. I would definitely get all that done first, so you know you're kind of prepared to go straight into it with a lot of knowledge on what it is. So definitely research is the main one, and then obviously creating your portfolio and video examples, explaining a bit about yourself, maybe an intro video. I love to do an intro video just because it gives the brand a little bit of background behind you and what kind of person you are, what you love to do, your hobbies. That is always good to add to your portfolio as well, or your UGC examples that you've done from home. I think I will probably go in a bit more depth on a portfolio near the end of the video and what to add to it and how to have a good portfolio. So yeah, definitely your portfolio, and then creating all your social media accounts, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Fiverr, and obviously adding UGC to the bio and UGC to the name as well. My name is like underscore UGC with a Leah, so as soon as a brand wants to work with UGC creators, they just type in UGC. And I also have UK UGC just in case I just want UK creators, so that always helps too. So they are my top 5 first tips that I think are probably the most important when becoming a UGC creator. So let's recap again. Knowledge and like revisions on what UGC is, how to become a successful creator, portfolio, creating the most successful and eye-catching portfolio, make sure it looks good as well because that always draws the brands in. Social media accounts, Instagram, TikTok, they're always good to make sure, because I feel like I say like portfolios are really important and like they look at that first, but I feel like they click onto your profile to then click onto the portfolio. So I feel like if your socials look good and you've got a lot of advice on there, a lot about you on there, then it kind of draws them to click onto the portfolio, if you know what I mean. So I would make sure that your socials look good and are eye-catching, because that is always good, because it's kind of a good first impression for your kind of personal branding. So yeah, I definitely would say your socials is probably a bit more important, just because, as I say, like it brings out the real you, who you are as a person, and it's really good for your personal branding. So my first top 5 on becoming a UGC creator. Okay, the next topic I'm going to go over on UGC is how to pitch to brands and kind of get brand deals. So I feel like this is the main question I've been asked, because I know a lot of people, that's like the main reason they want to start UGC, is to work with these brands and get all the deals coming in because it's so exciting. You want the money and you want this and that. But the one piece of advice I would say is don't just think of it as, oh, I want to get loads of money. Like, it's not. I think if you think just about the money, it tends to not happen. So I think if you go in with like an open mind and just think, oh, I want to do this because I love it, I enjoy social media, I love creating videos, not kind of thinking, oh, I just want the money, I want to work with these cool brands, because I feel like it often tricks your brain to thinking, oh, I'm only doing it for this kind of reason, and then that kind of reason just doesn't happen for you. So yeah, I would definitely say don't just think about the money first off, because it doesn't always happen straight away. I feel like for most people it takes a good 2 to 3 weeks to get your first paid deal, depending on, I don't know, it just, for me, it actually came quite quick. I got a few paid deals very early on, but I know for some people that I've spoke to, it's not as quick and it's really slow. So especially now, because I feel like a lot more people are getting into UGC, so it's a lot more of a competitive business. Not competitive, but just like as in there's a lot more like options to choose from. So I wouldn't always get excited thinking you're going to get like a paid brand deal in the first week, because it's just not the case at all, and a lot of people will tell you that. So yeah, I feel like it's really hard to navigate what to say to a brand when you want to work with them, or think like, oh, why is brand's not reaching out to me? And I feel like a lot of the time people do, like most creators you'll see, they'll fake it on their socials. Like they'll say, oh, I've got 10 brand deals this week, or oh, I've just signed this contract of like £1,000. Like, it just isn't like that. I feel like people do kind of just say that just to make brands think, and people think, wow, look at her, but it's not the case sometimes. So yes, there is people that can get that many like deals in one day and things, but a lot of it is just faking it until you make it, and I think that's the best thing to probably do. But yeah, I would definitely say starting off is, I feel like pitch to as many brands that you love. I wouldn't pitch to brands that you just want to kind of work with. Like, I would pitch to brands that you love, and make sure you're not pitching to the customer service email. First off, say like kind of introduce yourself a bit. I wouldn't make the paragraph too long, because I feel like I kind of learnt this from the start, the bigger the paragraph is, the more it puts brands off. So I feel like if it's short and sweet and you kind of just get their email, see if they want it, see if they're interested, and then you can kind of go from there. So I would definitely start off by saying like a bit about you. Always make sure you include, because I feel like a lot of people, I made this mistake where I would just copy and paste the message and send it to loads of brands, and then often like people would notice like, oh, she's just copied and pasted a message, and it just looks bad on your behalf. So I've definitely learned not to do that, so please do not do that, because it probably won't get you any deals unless the brand's a bit like dumb and just thinks, oh wow, I don't know. So I would definitely make sure you personalise the email to the brand and say like, oh, I love, like, I don't know, for example, Garnier. I love Garnier products. I use them every single day. Like, they're my #1 products to use in the shower. Like, I'm obsessed with them. I've used them for so long. I would definitely personalise it to their brand and make sure you include how much you love their products and things, because it makes them think, oh, she actually is like really wanting to work with our brand, not just get the money in the video and go. Like, she just really love our brand and always has. So I definitely personalise the pitch to the brand and make sure you're including how much you love the products and how much you've loved their brand for so long. And then obviously they might want to work with you even more, but some brands will just work with you whether you say you love their brand or not. Like, it just really depends on the brand. I'm actually going to read you some DMs that I've sent probably over the past month to brands that I've outreached to, just because I feel like it's helpful. I feel like people think that you just get inbounds, but you don't. Like, you have to send emails out to brands and DMs out to brands to work with them, because quite often you won't get emails and you won't get these messages from brands because they're so busy. So I would say it's good to like send out your own emails. So I'm going to read one to you that I sent to a brand a few weeks back. This is what I would normally put if I was pitching to a brand, like just to start off with, just something short and sweet and simple, and then it depends what they say back, whether they want like some details on what you offer and things. But this is what I would normally put. Hey, are you open to working with UGC creators? Your brand looks insane. And then I would obviously just go on to say about what I love about their brand, how much I've loved their brand, why I want to work with them. I'm not going to read that bit out though. I'd love to create some engaging and high quality videos for your brand. If this interests you, I'd love to grab your email and chat more on what I can offer. And then I would put my portfolio link and kind of just go from there. So that is just a really short and sweet pitch that I would send to brands. I feel like that has got me over probably like over 10 brand deals in the past 2 weeks. So yeah, I definitely say that one works for me at the minute. Definitely say you're personalising the pitch to the brand, just because it makes them think, oh, she actually wants to work with us and she actually loves our products. Like, they're not just doing it for the money or just for the free products. So yeah, that were my top tips on like pitching, and I'm trying to think if I have any more. Okay, the next question is, what videos and socials do you think attract brands? Do UGC tips work? So I think this kind of question, I don't really know personally what brands actually want to see, but I'm going off what I think gets me lots of deals and gets me more exposure. And for me, it's personally definitely tips helps, but I feel like tips is more for creators that are coming and wanting to be UGC creators, if you know what I mean. So not necessarily like brands that want to work with you are looking like at your tips for UGC. I feel like some of them do, but most of them just want to see like examples of your work, reviews you've had, things like that. So I would definitely say I've done like little bullet points of like what to post, just because I feel like I'll forget them. So what I would say to post on your socials and what I post and feel like works for me is, one, definitely is the most important one, is examples of your work. Even though you've got them in your portfolio, I feel like it's really good to add them to your socials. As I said, I feel like it's the first thing brands see is your Instagram page or TikTok page, and then they click onto your portfolio. So I would definitely say adding your examples to your socials like Instagram and things really helps, and also for other creators to see. It's just really good exposure for the brand and for other brands that wanting to work with you, so they can see what videos you've already created, kind of like how good you are, what the quality is like, how you speak in voiceovers, things like that. So I would definitely say number one is examples of your work, which works best for me, and I get a lot of brands kind of like liking the posts, or I just feel like it gets most exposure. And I feel like because it's a reel as well, I feel like reels get more exposure than like pictures and things. So definitely examples of your content that you've created. And then another one I would say is definitely like reviews. So post, I've got like a little template on Canva where I put my reviews and stuff and my feedback, and I always like to post them on my Instagram for brands to see and like creators to see. I feel like the reviews are always good for brands to see whether you actually work well with other brands and things you do best, kind of how well you are to work with, because I feel like they don't want to faff around working with someone who's kind of like half-hearted with it, doesn't really put much effort in. So a good review is always good to post, and I always love to do those, and I feel like that gets me a lot of interaction again with brands. So yeah, I feel like a good review is always good to post on your socials. Another one is behind the scenes of like creating your content, kind of videos that you've gone wrong, just like little snippets of things that you've done in videos, behind the scenes of your content, or kind of like raw footage of how the content went well or bad, or like just little snippets of fun little pieces you've got. So yeah, I feel like behind the scenes and raw footage always works well on your socials too. Maybe like days in the life, vlogs and things. I feel like they're more good for creators, but they're also just good to post on your socials. I just feel like as active as you are on your socials, the better. So I like to post every day. I'm currently banned on Instagram though, so I could actually cry. I'm not banned, like I can still post, but I can't put a caption. Like most of my videos anyway, that's the whole point of the post, is for the caption. So I can't put captions on my posts, and I can't log other people's posts. So I'm really sad. If anyone's got any like advice on how to help me get it back, please let me know, because I'm really struggling. So yeah, things like that, and also like what it's like to work with you, what you offer. I would definitely add an intro video to your socials on like what I recapped on earlier, like about yourself, what you like do for a living, whether this is your full-time job, and the way you work as a UGC creator and as a content creator. But I feel like it's good for brands to see what kind of person you are to work with. So they're my like top 5, 6, I don't know how many I said, on things to post on your socials. And like I said before, I feel like socials are really important to make sure you're active on there, post on your stories, on your feed, just for brands to interact with you and see. It gives you more engagement and things. So yeah, we'll definitely say post on socials is really important. Next topic is how to find brands. So I feel like a lot of people ask me this. I've had a few DMs on how I find brands and how I kind of get a lot of deals, and I feel like this is mainly for people who want to outreach to brands and kind of find brands that they want to work with. So I've got a few tips on how to find some brands. So like most creators will say this, but the main one I think is actually other creators, seeing who they've worked with, who's on their portfolio, on their socials. That's always the best option, because I feel like you know that that specific brand wants to work with UGC creators because they obviously already have. Definitely reach out to those, because you already know that they're open to working with creators like yourself. So definitely other people's socials, so either looking on their portfolio, seeing who they've worked with, on their socials, seeing who they've worked with. Like UGC is kind of really getting big now. I feel like a lot of brands are clicking onto it, so it's quite a like really nice environment at the minute. So most brands are wanting to work with UGC creators. Another one that works really well for me is when like you're scrolling on stories and scrolling down your feed on Instagram, Facebook and things, and like little sponsorships pop up of brands. I always click on those and send those an outreach. To be fair, a lot of my collabs over the past few weeks has been from that. Like I feel like a lot of brands from like sponsorships and things, because you know they're promoting a product, so they kind of want some natural, and some of these ones I'm seeing on sponsorships isn't always people promoting it either. It's like kind of just, you know, it's been done in like a studio and stuff. It's not really quite natural or organic. So yeah, I definitely would say looking in stories and feed, like of sponsorships and ads coming up, and contact the brands through those. They're always a good one for me personally. Also would say if you want to work with like a specific niche, like fashion, beauty, food, say like typing in, say jewellery for example, you type in jewellery on Instagram and you get so many jewellery brands pop up. Just click on those brands and just completely outreach to all of them, like as many as you can. It does not matter. I feel like they're just, as many as you reach out to, what are they going to say? The worst they're going to say is, no, sorry, we're not doing it at the minute. But I think as many brands as possible to reach out to is always the best bet, just to know that like you have actually gone out of your way to try and work with brands. Like you're not just sat there waiting like, oh, why is no brands coming to me? Like you actually have tried to reach out and like form like some sort of connection with a brand. So I would definitely say those are my top 3 ways to outreach to brands and kind of get to work with brands. You get a lot of inbounds. Well, I've got a few inbounds this week, but I think again that is all to do with like my portfolio and my socials, being really active on there. Like at the minute I can't post, but I'm still really active on stories. So I just feel like as long as you don't go ghost mode on there and just don't really like, I don't know, I just feel like you get, at the minute I'm getting a lot of brands following me. I don't know what it's through, I'd love to find out, but I just feel like the more active you are, the more engagement you're going to get with brands. So yeah, they're my top 3 tips on how to get brands. I've had a lot of questions as well about working with like agencies and things, what I think about working with agencies, whether they're worth it, whether to accept deals with them and stuff. And personally for me, I've only worked with I think 1 or 2 agencies. I prefer not to if I can. I mean, I don't prefer not to, but I just feel like, I think most creators will say this as well, like they don't, you probably don't get as much money as you would on your own, because obviously they take like a percentage from you. I think most of them do. So yeah, I feel like the money for working with agencies isn't as good. I mean, it depends what the opportunity is. Like, if it's a really big brand, I don't mind doing the big brand and then not getting as much, but I do feel like it is better to work with a brand on your own rather than via an agency. Like I say, it's always good for exposure and just like different opportunities, because you can get more jobs through agencies maybe sometimes than you can on your own, because obviously they sort everything out. But personally, I think most creators will probably say they prefer doing it on their own maybe. But yeah, I do think agencies are good to work with. There's a lot of good ones out there for UGC. So yeah, I don't know what I feel about agencies. I do really like them. Like, there is a lot of good ones, but then some of them are just so low paying, like they just don't pay enough. And yeah, it's a bit difficult sometimes to negotiate with them, because it's kind of a set price that they've kind of got from the brand and then they won't change it. So it's hard, because I feel like sometimes I've had brands where I really want to work with the company but they're just not offering enough, and sometimes you have to be kind of like stand your ground and say, right, listen, like I'm not doing it for that much. Like, as much as like you love the brand and stuff, like it's just not really worth it. And the prices can be a bit stupid sometimes. So yeah, I definitely would say with brands it's a difficult one, but personally for me I prefer not to. But if it's a good deal and it's a brand I really want to work with, then yeah, 100%. But yeah, I feel like brands are agencies are not difficult to work with, as in like there's some really good ones out there, but it's just hard to know whether to accept it or not. I don't know. But yeah, I don't really have much to say on agencies. Kind of, that's just really because I've not really got much experience with them, don't really work with them. But yeah, I do think there's a lot of other creators that will say they love agencies and they always work with them and stuff, but for me, I don't really work with them that often. But yeah, I wouldn't mind working with one that I really loved, as in like the products and stuff, or the brand. But yeah, that is my thought on agencies. Everyone's saying like, what do you need to be a UGC creator? You don't need anything. Like, you don't need, I don't know whether people are like saying that as in like, do you need a degree or something? No, like it's literally, you don't need anything. As long as you've got a phone and maybe like a tripod and good lighting, you're all okay. Like, you don't need anything other than that, really. Sometimes you don't even need a tripod, like just balancing will do. So as long as you've got a phone or a camera, you're fine. So that is pretty much all you need. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones that, pricing wise. So prices, I personally myself don't include my prices in my portfolio. I know it's like a few brands do, not brands, creators do include them in the portfolio, but personally for me, I don't like to. I have like a separate price card that I keep, and then I just send it over to brands when they want to know how much I charge. And yeah, I feel like it's hard. Like, it depends how long you've been doing UGC for. I know a lot of creators charge quite a lot for videos. I don't want to be too expensive, just because I feel like the more expensive you are, the less deals you'll probably get. I feel like I don't charge too expensive, but I'm also not cheap. I like really cheap as like other people are maybe, but I've put mine up since like getting busier, because I feel like it's always good to put your rates up if you're getting busier. I definitely think putting your rates up is definitely important once you've got more deals and more collabs and you're more busy, because you want to get as much money as possible. So the higher they are, the better. But yeah, I definitely think being reasonable and definitely negotiating with brands as well. If like some brands are smaller businesses and can't afford to pay like your rate, then definitely like work around both of you and kind of negotiate a good price that works well for the both of you. So yeah, I definitely would say your rates, I mean, they're completely up to you what you do. Like, you can do price however much you want, but I would just be reasonable and like fair with brands, especially if they're smaller businesses. Like, sometimes brands can't really afford to pay your rates, whereas there's like really big brands that probably will or pay more. Like, it just completely depends. Like, I've had brands that have like offered me more than my rates for like one video, which is like amazing. But then I've had brands that are offering like way too like not enough. So it just really depends on what you think you're worth, and how long you've been doing it. I feel like always is most important. Like, if you haven't got much experience, you've only done like 1 or 2 videos, then I don't feel like you can charge that much. But if you've had a lot of experience, you've been doing it for ages, then definitely, I mean, it's completely up to you. I feel like pricing is completely your own, on your own accord. Like, you can completely decide what you want to price, whether that be a lot, whether that be not too much. But I definitely would say probably no less than 50. Mine's like an okay rate at the minute, but if I keep getting busier, then I'm definitely going to put it up again. So it just completely depends on what you personally think. I've also wrote down a few positives and negatives just to end the video off, because I feel like I've been nattering on for a while and my mouth's actually hurting now. So these are just a few positives and negatives on being a UGC creator, being a content creator, being self-employed. So I'm going to start off with positives. So meeting new people is always fun. Like I've met like one of my besties, Isla, through UGC, which is amazing. Like especially when you have something in common and you do the same job, it's so fun and like so exciting. And obviously we're both self-employed, so we can go like away on like trips together, or we can have like a little content day, so it's always fun. So definitely meeting new people. There's a really nice community surrounded by like UGC creators, and everyone's really lovely, I feel like. So yeah, definitely the positives is that. Another one is like doing what you love every day. Obviously I love social media, I love creating videos, I do YouTube, I do my own social, so this, like doing it as a job, is just so surreal and so amazing. I'm so grateful, and I wake up every day thinking like, how the hell do I do this as a job at like 20 years old? It's so cool. But yeah, definitely doing what I love every day, and like getting to work with like the most amazing brands. I feel like, I don't know, it's like so crazy, because some of these brands that I've worked with is like a dream to me, and especially getting paid to do it. Like I get like gifted stuff on my own personal socials, but getting paid to do it is like crazy. So yeah, working with my dream brands is like a pinch me moment as well. I feel like it's so exciting to work with some of your favourite brands, and yeah, it's just a really surreal job, to be fair. Another positive is working wherever you like and whenever you want. So for example, if I went like away on holiday, I can work from the holiday, and like I don't have to call in sick, I don't have to like book holiday off. Like I literally can just get up and say, right, see you later, I'm going to Paris, like bye. So yeah, that's a positive. Definitely working wherever you want. I can finish work at 12 o'clock, go shopping. Like unless I'm so busy, I don't have the time to actually do any of that, then it's different. But like it's not set hours, which I just love, like 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Like I can just work wherever and whenever I want. So that's probably the main positive for me. The freedom that you get being a UGC creator, content creator, is just so good. Negatives. So these aren't like, I don't really want to boast about the negatives, because like I don't really want to talk about a negative to the job, because it's such a positive and amazing job. But there is a few negatives, and people who are self-employed will agree on this. So I would definitely say you can never switch off. Like if you ask anyone that knows me, I cannot switch off. I probably wake up around 7, half 7, go on my phone straight away, answer all emails, and then I would probably say I turn my phone off at like 10 o'clock. But I turn it off at 10 o'clock, and then my brain is like, it's just going crazy. Like I can't switch off. I find myself going to bed at like 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes, because I just can't switch off. Like I'm thinking about what I need to do tomorrow, brands I need to reach back to, things I need to like get done. Like it's just chaotic. Whereas I feel like if you work somewhere like, I don't know, Sainsbury's or something, you go to the job, you do the job, you leave, you come home, and then that's it. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to think about the job. It's just like, it's a lot. It is a lot. Like it is really difficult to kind of just get away from thinking about work. So that's definitely one of the main things, I think, is you can never switch off, and you kind of do 11, 12-hour days without even realising it sometimes. So it's quite unhealthy, but I don't know. It's just hard. But yeah, that's what I think is the main one. You can never switch off. The other one is when you go on holidays and stuff. So basically, like when you go on holiday with like, and you've got like a 9 to 5 job, you book that holiday off, you just relax all week. Whereas for me, if I was to go an all-inclusive, I don't think I could actually just relax all week. I'd find it really difficult. Like I feel like I would still find myself like working, and I don't know, I feel like you don't really get a break. As like sad as it sounds, like you don't really get like a time where you can just not be on your phone. So that's another one. You can like, you always have to work no matter where you are. And not as in like it's really tough work, I'm not saying that at all, but like you don't just get a break where it's just no like answering emails, no creating videos. Like you always have to carry on. And I feel like anyone who's a content creator will say that, or in the social media industry, like you've just got to keep going, because it's so competitive. And if you stop for like a week, I just feel like you lose so much. You can lose so many opportunities without even realising it. So yeah, it's quite difficult to kind of switch off and have that break. Another one I've just kind of spoken on my stories about is how some weeks can be really slow and some weeks can be super busy and chaotic. So like for example, for me, last week was such a slow week. It was really stressful. I wasn't getting many deals coming through. And then this week, I've never had so many in my life. Like I've had over like 10 new deals confirmed. I've had loads of inbounds, and to be honest, I'm quite shocked by it, because I thought as it was getting into Christmas, it was going to kind of slow down anyway. So I wasn't really too shocked. but this week has just been chaotic. So yeah, it's like really strange how one week can be so stressful, so slow and quiet, and then the next week can just be so hectic and busy. So that's kind of the perks and the negative of the job, like how I feel like anyone self-employed will know that sometimes money can be slow, and then other times it can be really quick and you can get loads and you can confirm all these deals and it can be amazing, but then other times it can be really difficult and hard to confirm deals, especially if you have bills to pay. I have a few bills, but not like a house to pay for or anything, so it's not too bad for me, but I do feel for content creators who have like a home, a mortgage to pay for, and then like you're not getting many deals one week. It is difficult and stressful, so yeah, that is kind of another negative. I think I'm going to conclude this video here, guys. I feel like I've explained a lot and gone over a lot of topics as much as I can, and I feel like if I talk anymore I will just like spit at you guys and just not give you real information, because I feel like I can't speak. I don't know what's going on with me today. I was just speaking on my stories and I just cannot talk, like I'm just word vomiting for some reason. So yeah, I'm going to leave this video here, but I really hope this video helped you guys who are aspiring content creators, UGC creators, looking for a way to become self-employed and getting paid from home, or just really wanting to get into content creation and doing videos and stuff. So yeah, I really hope this video helped all of you guys, or even just like people who are already content creators or UGC creators. I just hope it really helped you. I have word vomited, but as much as I have, I feel like I have gave you some tips. Let me know if I have give you some tips, or if you need me to answer more questions. My DMs are always open, and I will put like I'll put a question box in my on my UGC Instagram, so if you put questions in there, and I will just answer them via DM, because I did this last time and then all the questions came through after I filmed the video, so I was a bit like upset because I didn't answer them all. But yeah, I really hope this video helped you guys and you got some tips and tricks from it and some advice on how to become a successful UGC creator, how to get started. And yeah, I just really hope this helped you all. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you with a brand new video next week, and be ready for the Christmas content, because I'll tell you what, I am so ready for it. And let me know if you've got any Christmas videos that you want to see. I've got some planned, but I definitely would love some ideas from you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you on Wednesday with a brand new video.